Photographs hold a far deeper power than we usually believe. They are not just frozen memories trapped in time, nor are they simply evidence of what once was. They are energetic links that can influence our reality in ways we often fail to imagine. Picture this. When you look at a photograph of a loved one who has passed, you are not only gazing at an image, you are in some way connecting with a presence beyond the physical, an energy that remains alive in subtle form. In this video, we are going to dive into a subject that is rarely spoken about but carries immense importance. What do we do with the photos of our loved ones who are no longer here? Carl Jung, who dedicated his life to understanding the collective unconscious and the invisible energies surrounding us, pointed out that even the simplest objects, like a photograph, can exert a psychic influence on our lives. Have you ever stopped to consider if the pictures of your deceased relatives are in the right place? Without realizing it, the images of those who have departed might be influencing your daily life, affecting your mood, your energy, and even your health. Today, we'll explore the precautions you should take so that these photos don't unintentionally become energetic channels that bring you fatigue, anxiety, or imbalance instead of peace. But let us start with a simple question. Where are you keeping the photos of those who have passed on? If you are not sure, this may be the moment to discover how to protect your well-being by consciously managing these visual memories. Photos, those images stored in albums or framed on our walls, are not just snapshots of the past. Jung taught that every object, every memory, carries an energetic charge. A photograph of someone who has left this world is not only a reminder of them, it is a symbolic channel of energy that continues to exist in our reality. Just like other objects imbued with personal meaning, pictures of the deceased can influence our emotional and energetic state in ways that go unnoticed, yet leave an impact. Each time you look at a picture of someone who is gone, you are connecting with their energy, whether you realize it or not. Jung believed that what we don't fully understand within the unconscious can deeply affect our psyche. Photographs, like other symbols with emotional weight, become vessels of meaning and power. But what happens if we don't treat these memories with the care they deserve? Photos of deceased loved ones, if not managed properly, can become more than mere keepsakes. According to Jung's ideas on the psychic energy of objects, these pictures may continue transmitting the presence of the departed, anchoring them in our lived reality. The key lies in how we handle them. If we don't pay attention to their placement and context, we might trap that energy in a cycle that drains or unsettles us without us ever realizing why. Common mistakes when handling photos of the deceased. One of the most common mistakes is mixing photos of the deceased with pictures of the living. At first it might seem trivial, but the energetic difference between the two is enormous. The living emit vital energy, which is dynamic and constantly in motion, while images of those who have passed carry a more static vibration tied to memory and the past. Think about this scenario. You have a photo of your late grandmother placed right next to a picture of yourself or your children. On the surface, it seems innocent. Yet, on an energetic level, you are merging two completely different vibrations. That blend can create a space heavy with mixed signals, an atmosphere that is neither entirely alive nor entirely resting in memory. Over time, family members might start to feel unexplainable fatigue, low moods, or even tension in the house, as if they were carrying an invisible weight without understanding where it comes from. Another frequent mistake is placing these photos in inappropriate locations, such as the living room, dining area, or especially the bedroom. These are spaces of high activity, joy, gathering, or rest. If the energy of those photos isn't carefully managed, it can begin to interfere with the natural dynamic of the household. A living room, meant to be warm, social, and full of laughter, can turn into a space heavy with nostalgia or sadness. A bedroom, where the mind and body are supposed to rest and regenerate, can instead become charged with emotions that prevent deep peace or restorative sleep. The impact of sleeping with photos of the deceased. One of the most draining things you can do is keep a photograph of a deceased loved one close to your bed. Your bedroom is the space where your body and mind regenerate, where you release the day and recharge for the next. If a photo of someone who has passed remains near that intimate space, their energy can linger in ways that interrupt your rest. Imagine this. You fall asleep with a photograph of your late mother on your nightstand. At first it feels comforting, a way of keeping her close. But over time, you notice your sleep grows restless. Dreams become intense, as if she were trying to communicate something. You wake up tired, sometimes anxious, as though you've carried emotional weight through the night. It's not that your mother is physically present, but the photo acts as a symbolic bridge, connecting you with her energy in a space where you are most vulnerable. Why location matters. What truly matters when dealing with photos of the deceased is not the photo itself, but the space in which it is placed. The location of these images has a direct impact on your energy and the atmosphere of your home. Many cultures suggest creating a small altar for departed loved ones, a dedicated corner with their photos, perhaps candles, flowers, or meaningful objects that symbolize peace and remembrance. This altar should not be in constant view or in the middle of daily life. Instead, it should be a sacred space, one that honors their memory without intruding on the flow of the present. By separating photos of the deceased from those of the living, and by placing them in intentional spaces, you create balance. You acknowledge the past while also protecting the vibrancy of your present. The psychic energy of digital photographs. In today's world, most of our pictures live on our phones or computers, but the energetic principle still applies. Digital images, though intangible, also carry psychic weight. If you constantly revisit these pictures, scrolling through them before bed or even setting them as a wallpaper, you may unknowingly keep yourself tied to that energy. Many people report feeling emotionally drained, melancholic, or even unsettled after frequently revisiting photos of loved ones who have passed. It is not mere nostalgia. It is the emotional and psychic imprint that those images continuously transmit when we engage with them without pause. How to release the energy of photographs. Carl Jung emphasized the importance of releasing attachments to the past when they hold us back from growth. With photographs, one way to do this is through symbolic acts that transform the bond rather than destroy it. For example, if a photo of a loved one falls, cracks, or is damaged, don't ignore it. In many traditions, such moments are seen as signals that something needs to be released. One respectful practice is to wrap the photo in white cloth, thank the person for their presence, and symbolically set the picture free. Some do this by burning it carefully, not as an act of destruction, but of transformation. The energy is allowed to continue its journey without remaining stagnant in your reality. If you are not comfortable with rituals, simply storing the photos in a dedicated place, where they are safe, honored, but not constantly influencing your daily environment, can bring peace. The key is to maintain a balance, honoring memory without letting it weigh down the present. The deeper truth. What we have explored here goes far beyond organizing photographs. It is about recognizing that memories, represented in physical or digital form, can profoundly influence our well-being. Jung's philosophy reminds us that symbols and objects are not passive. They interact with our unconscious, shaping our energy and even our health. Photos of loved ones who have passed are not just images. They are capsules of energy, fragments of time that continue to resonate in us. Respecting them is vital, but so is creating a healthy balance that allows us to move forward without being trapped in the past. When we learn to handle these images with awareness, choosing where to place them, how to engage with them, and when to let them go, we prevent them from becoming emotional anchors that drain us. Instead, they can become sources of peace, gratitude, and remembrance. It's important to remember, love and memory are never lost by changing how we interact with photographs. On the contrary, small acts, like shifting a picture's location or releasing a broken image with gratitude, can bring liberation, both for us and for the memory of those we love. In the end, it's about honoring the past without letting it weigh down the present. A simple change of perspective, a mindful act of placement or release, can bring renewal. If you ever feel that a photo or object is affecting the atmosphere of your home, don't hesitate to reflect on how you're handling it. Sometimes a small adjustment, a new placement, a reorganization, or even a symbolic farewell can bring deep peace. Your environment should support your growth, not anchor you to what has already passed. Thank you for staying with me until the end and for reflecting on such a profound subject. If this video resonated with you, please like and subscribe. so we can continue exploring how energy, psychology, and spirituality transform our lives. And if you have experiences or reflections on this topic, share them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next video, where we'll continue uncovering how Jung's philosophy and the understanding of energy can help us live with greater clarity, balance, and vitality.